And we gon' bring you that dope.
And we gon' bring you that dope. It's Gator Beater, baby. Main state to state, baby, coast to coast. Like the fire, baby, spark the joke.
And we gon' bring you that dope.
Come talk with Erica, man, talk with G. And all you gotta do is talk with me.
And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' give you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Get it out. Get that.
That sounds like a James Brown.
I know we was about to get
on the good foot.
Funky. Right. You just be saying random stuff.
Right, like
Yeah.
right.
Like,
I don't know what he said, but it sounds
right.
good.
Right, exactly.
Yo,
Just like that Bone Thugs and Harmony stuff. When Busy Bone used to be rapping, he'd be like, I don't know what he said, but it sounds good.
Yeah, all I know is that everybody,
Right.
somebody, everybody.
Right. Everybody. Like, what?
Yo, welcome back to another Dope Discussions Tuesday. How y'all doing this evening? I almost said Sunday.
Oh, Lord. Old habits are hard to break. Welcome to the virtual congregation, everybody. How y'all doing out there on this? It's getting hot, man. Atlanta is hot.
Oh, yes. And
it's hot.
Today was my first day back to work since I was off last week for vacation, and go back to a hot workplace. The air conditioner was broke.
Oh, hell nah, Karen.
Exactly.
Oh, no. Especially Louisiana, because it'd be hot up here, but I know what it'd be back home.
Man,
You
no
walk
joke.
up there, it's you can't survive without air conditioning. And see, those folks who was back in the day, them some special people. I got the most respect in the world for them, because they dealt with Louisiana without AC.
Yeah, and when you work in the public where you have to give good customer service, but you hot, I don't know about that.
You gonna get what you gonna get.
You gonna get what you gonna get because it's hot. Yes, but we back with another dope discussion for y'all. Today we're gonna be talking about social media's influence on relationship expectations and some of these new terms that we've been seeing floating around. We're gonna talk about the soft girl era. We're gonna talk about city girls up. I've been seeing a lot of that city girls up, and I'm like, what they up on? What is it? Is they taking score
You know what? This is my thing. I think they are taking score, right? Because I see it all the time. It's passport bros versus city girls, and they got a
Yes,
they got a whole stadium
yes.
full of them.
Then we're gonna
Mm-mm.
put a little sprinkle in there. We're gonna talk about this lady that's making these dudes mad. Miss Shira, what's her name? Shira 7. Miss Sprinkle.
Oh man.
Have you seen some of her videos?
You know what? I got to a point where I just started muting her stuff a while back. But yeah, so I don't even know what she just said recently. So this is gonna be news for me.
Well, I never knew about her. She started coming up on my TikTok feed, and I was like listening to some of the stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is like I'm thinking it's like, spoof, like it's a skit, like it's a parody, like she's not
Hmm.
serious, she just doing this for jokes.
Oh
But I
no, she's
found out
serious.
she been doing it for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, she's serious. She's a very she like to consider herself kept woman. Yeah.
And she got a
Lord.
big following. She got a lot of women who are following her, and they take whatever she say for like the gospel, just like
Hmm.
they did with Kevin Samuels. Whatever he say, they do it. The women are just like that with her. It's like, I knew she was gonna give me one. I knew she was gonna give me a good comeback for that.
Hmm.
I just
Right.
be laughing.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you know what? This is one of those people though that because they got a little bit of a they
Uh,
could throw some barbs and some jokes. People
yeah,
start listening to what they have to say,
yeah.
and unfortunately, that could come to the detriment of a whole lot of people.
Yeah, baby, I tell you, it's comic. It's comedy to me.
Oh yeah, it really is. It really is. I wanted to talk about the scenario with social media's influence because I feel like we are in a bit of a conundrum right now, right? In our
Hmm.
society, we're so in tune to what's happening every day with people.
Hmm.
The news cycle never ends. We're always getting updates and hearing, oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that? And this stuff is just literally buzzing our pocket. It ain't like we, got to go pick up a newspaper to read the news. The news is actually for the first time in history coming to us at
Right.
all times. And it's not just news, unfortunately, it's all forms of information, including the ratchet information. And I
Hmm.
think that's part of what we've got a problem with right now is we've got, people who are, you know, getting these alerts from people that they're tuning into and they're seeing all of the opulence and oh, I can't do a man unless he making more than 150K,
Hmm.
all those types of things, right? And you see that so much and it becomes, and the algorithms work now to where they alert you. Oh, you like that video? You was laughing at Miss Seven video? Hold on, let me show you something. We gonna
Hmm.
bring that video right back up to you. And
Hmm.
basically, it's almost like the algorithm is created to indoctrinize you to whatever path you decided to kind of tune into a little bit. And that's scary because one of the things that a lot of people were, especially during the pandemic, is lonely, and they saw a lot of this information about relationships. This is, Kevin Samuels really start taking off during that time,
Yeah.
you know, and because you've got a bigger audience and these people are feeding into whatever's entertaining, not realizing that they're also being indoctrinated, into this weird space of, oh, this is what a relationship expectation should be, and it's almost like they're living in a fantasy land.
Oh, it's definitely a fantasy land. But I think more than ever, we're living in a society where people are hungry for a they're hungry for somebody to tell them what to do
Oh yeah.
and how to get what they're looking for, how to get what they're desiring. Because I see a lot of videos of people talking about how they lost weight or, how they met their husband. And you'll see people in the comments are hungry that they want you to tell them step by step exactly what you did so I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the world doesn't work like that. What
No.
what worked for me and what happened for me is not going to happen for you exactly the way it happened for me, but they're so hungry for
Mm-hmm.
somebody to give them the blueprint on how to get what it is they desire in life, that while you're on the internet waiting for somebody to give you the step-by-step instructions, you can be out in the real world actually doing the thing and doing it how you're going to do it.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's part of the problem is that, you know, for a while there was no such thing as getting out there in the real world. So we're living vicariously, or a lot of these people living vicariously through a Kevin Samuels or through some of these other influencers that were out there, right? So you had
Mm-hmm,
this scenario that happened where you would see people and they look pretty put well together, and they got this strong opinion, and I want to jump in and I want to have that type of opinion too. I want to be just like this person. And so they do those things, and they start taking on that mindset that person is putting out there, and sometimes not even really taking the whole thing, just taking little snippets of what they want from the conversations and
mm-hmm,
putting them out there. And it really does end up being a scenario where you're letting these people who you don't know, who are not in your same circumstance, influence your day-to-day decisions on how you treat people, on how you engage women or engage men, and how that whole thing. I think I told you one time before where I hate generalizations,
mm-hmm,
because this all women do this, all men do that. That's like you said, people are looking for a blueprint because it's
mm-hmm,
not easy. It is
mm-hmm.
difficult, and you have to actually do the work to get out there and experience it for yourself. So instead of experiencing it for themselves, they'll say, okay, well, you know why I don't got no woman, because these women expectations are too high,
Yeah.
or these men, they all dirty dusties, and that was a whole nother mess right there, the whole
And
dusties
every
thing.
time you turn around, there's some new catchphrase, there's some
Mm-hmm.
new term that people are using. And many times it just means the same thing that it meant over and over again. It's just repackaged in a different phrase, a different a different look, a different hashtag to it. So the first one I wanted to talk about was this soft girl era. So I got a clip that I want to play that I got from TikTok, kind of, I guess, explaining what the soft girl era is or supposed to be. So I'm gonna play that for us right quick so we can have some point of reference.
Like, my homegirls know how to barbecue. Like, flame a grill up, okay? I did say this my last year not knowing how to barbecue. But wait, this is what I'm saying. I want to be soft. I want to not have to go get my car washed. I don't want to have to take my car to the car lot so it could get fixed. I don't want to have to talk about car things with men. Like, I don't want to have to do that. I want to be soft. When I got a flat tire, I want to be able to call my man and he'd be like, here I come, baby, and not expect me to handle it. Like, I want to be independent on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? On a certain level. I want to feel like a baby with my man around, like a little princess, okay? That's what I want to do. No shade to my honeys that's very independent. Do you? Sometimes we have no choice. But I'm just saying, like, it's not fair.
So when I listened to her definition of the soft girl era and everything that she was explaining, I was saying to myself, but you're talking about things that are not gender specific. It's just what grown people do.
Mm-hmm.
Grown people go get their car serviced. Grown people go get their car washed. I don't think because you were born a man that you specifically enjoy doing those things just because
Mm.
you're a man. And 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 you've grown up thinking these are the things that I'm supposed to do because I'm a man. It's like if you meet a man who's always lived on his own, he's probably learned how to clean. He's probably learned
Mhm.
how to cook. It doesn't mean that he particularly likes to do those things, but those are what grown adults have to do to take care of themselves. Because if you're going to be the stereotypical things that women are supposed to do, like cooking, cleaning, I don't like doing that shit just
You know,
because I'm a woman.
I wanna go into my hard boy era, right? Where I ain't gotta worry about cooking or doing laundry or none
Yeah.
of that type of stuff. But you're right. A lot of that stuff is okay, I'm a grown up. I need to be able to do that on my own. And I I get it to a certain extent because there are certain things that, when I was growing up, it's like, oh, the man need to do that. Oh, changing the
Mhm.
tire? Oh, you need to get out there and do that. You know, the opening the doors for the ladies and handling all of those other things, just handling the yard work and all that. Those were all things that were associated with okay, that's man stuff to do. So
Mhm.
I think what it is that there are a lot of women who were on the independent, I could do this by myself type kick for a long time that are now redefining, well, I'm kind of tired of doing it all on my own. I kind of want my man to be, first of all, this is the confusion in it. If you got a man, most times you're not going to have to ask for those types of things, right? So this means that when you're talking about this, what you're talking about is basically getting booed up. And it's fine. If you're a woman and your man got you out there changing tires, there's a problem. I mean,
But
taking it to the autocraft, yeah.
what if she's the type of person who growing up she wanted to be a mechanic and that's something that she learned how to do and her
Oh yeah.
husband's not particularly good at that.
Oh well, yeah. You go
The
ahead and
person
change
who's
it.
good at that, but somebody would pass by that situation not knowing those two people, and they would assume, oh, he's making her do that, not
Hmm.
knowing she wants to do it because that's her job and that's what she's good at and she's doing it. But see how we take our perceptions on what something's supposed to look like
Hmm.
and then instantly judge it, not knowing what it really is. I think it that feeds into, if we're going to go that side, we're going to have to put the whole spin on it, because that feeds into, if she's saying she's tired of doing all those things on her own, are you going to pass up every man in your life that comes along that doesn't fit that exact stereotype of what you're looking for? I want a man to get under the hood and get dirty. Well, what if you meet a man that's really not good at that, but he's a
Yeah.
really good person and probably a good fit for you in a lot of the other ways that really count?
Hmm.
You're going to pass him up because I just want a man to be able to take my trash out because I'm tired of taking my trash out.
Yeah. Now, now that being said, we hope that that would be just a little lanyard, right? On top of the fact that you got a good man. Yeah, he also allows me to kind of get into my feminine side and to my soft side and allows me to, he'll take care of the car. I ain't got to get up under there and do nothing. That's for those women. Now, women who want to go out there, hey, look, you go ahead and take the rotors, take care of them rotors, girl. I bring you some punch.
I don't know, but I think you can be in your soft girl era without ever having a man around.
You can.
You can still be
I
in your
really believe you
feminine
can.
energy without having a man in the room, because if you don't want to rotate your tires or get your car serviced, you can find somebody to do that for you.
Hmm.
You don't have to be in an actual relationship to have those things done if you don't want to do them. I just think it's more repackaged of the feminine energy type of. that wave, when that wave came through, you're in your feminine energy, and I need a man to help me rest in my feminine energy.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that. Like I said earlier, I think that's just a subtle cry for I want to be booed up. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. That's really all it is. I just want to be booed up because at the end of the day, hey, look, I may not know how to do whatever, build a house or whatever like that. But if I don't know how to build a house, there's a woman gonna tell me that, oh well, I can't be with you because yeah, I'm not gonna be able to be in my feminine.
Right. I'm
when
not
you
gonna
do
be
that.
able to be in my feminine.
Um,
You mean to tell me we gotta hire somebody to build us a house when my man should be able to build
Right. Like I don't think that's where she was going with it, but I've seen that
Yeah.
conversation online before. I have seen that conversation online, and the opposite of that conversation where oh, you need to like I said, I want to get in my hard boy era, right? Where I ain't gotta worry
So
about
I'm looking for
washing
me.
dishes and all that kind of stuff.
I'm looking for a man who one of my requirements for my next relationship is a man who loves to cook because I don't love it.
Right. Look, you know what? So that's one of the things that I told Nadine initially. Is that I love cooking. I don't got no problem with it. I see cues I could build a house, but I wouldn't advise it exactly.
I will huff and I will puff and I
Shoot,
will blow that house down.
shoot. You give me them nails and that hammer if you want to. You'll be looking like, wait a minute.
Do a nail supposed to go here?
Right. Why the concrete on top of the house?
Baby, that's one of them new houses where you put the foundation on top.
It took forever for me to get that concrete up there, but I got it. Why is it up there?
That's one of them houses they be building in Bikini Bottom,
Because rain can't come through concrete.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the next. Whew, I had seen this so much, I was tired of seeing all that. It was like, and they made a big ruckus about them people. I'm like, let them people go where they want to go. Don't nobody else want them. Let them go. Why y'all
Lord.
mad?
Lord, yeah.
What you think about the passport bros?
So there are different people who do things because they see other people doing it. They want to jump on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people on this kick was on the bandwagon. Like it became a thing where it was like, oh, I just don't like American women. I want to get women from another country because they got different values and different things like that. To a certain extent, they do, right? Their value system kind of relates to where we were in this country maybe 40, 50 years ago. Some of these guys are stuck in a time warp and they expect that, okay, I can find a woman who has those traditional homemaker values out in another country because I won't find it here because, women just too independent and they too this and they too that. The thing is that every society evolves, every society changes. The reason why a lot of women are the way they are, they had to get into the workforce, they had to do those things, is because the economy here facilitates that you have to do that. Right? There's no such thing anymore as, oh, I'm a woman. I'm going to sit here at my daddy and my mama house until I'm 24 years old. And at that point, I'll be able to find a man to come scoop me up and I'm going to be a homemaker and housewife for this man. It doesn't work like that anymore. This is not the 1950s. That is not how our economy works. This is why the passport bros have to go to different countries where the economy still works like that. So they got to go to these countries and they get booed up. If the little income that they got seems like a whole bunch of money to these women in these other countries. So they can support this woman in that other country. But if they had to move back to the United States, it might be a completely different story.
So that proves the point that in certain environments, the evolution of that society, either you're going to keep up or you're going to get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who are there's a certain section of people who would love to be like an ostrich, just put their head in the sand and ignore the changes going on around them because they
Right.
don't want it to change. And then you feel like if you just ignore it, things won't change. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you open your eyes and you realize things have changed, but you haven't grown with the change, now you're mad at society because these women are getting all these degrees and it's making them masculine and they talking about they independent and all of this type of stuff. Why were you not watching what was going on when it was
Mm-hmm.
going on? Now
Oh,
that you've been
mm-hmm.
left behind, you want to go to another country. We don't want you here because anytime you're in a society where you can't adapt and adopt to change,
Mm-hmm.
you are one of the weakest links anyway.
Yeah, you will be. You definitely
It's
will be.
survival of the fittest. And the
Yeah.
people who don't adapt to change well get left behind. They're stragglers and they're like dead weight. And most of the women were like, we don't care what y'all doing, but y'all announcing it and talking about it so much lets us know that you really don't want to do this. You're trying to get our attention. We're saying, why you gotta announce it? Just leave.
Mm-hmm. Now I will say this: there was some people that was upset. There were some women that was genuinely upset, but the reasoning that they were upset was more because of the fact that they felt like some of these men were using this as a cop out because they just didn't like black women or they just didn't like women,
Well, some of them
American
blatantly
women in
said
general.
that.
And a
Some of
lot of
them
them did.
blatantly said that
A lot
black
of them did.
women is too masculine. They're not submissive. We going somewhere where the women are soft and they know how to cater to their men.
Exactly. And,
Bye,
and
sir.
and and again, a lot of that comes from the fact. Now, I will say, and I've said this on the show many times, we are in a bit of a societal shift where there is a lot of evolution that's coming about. I was taught the same way a lot of these guys were taught in program that okay, well, you need to get out there, you need to be the breadwinner, you need to make and the woman needs to, be submissive and you got to make sure you provide for that family and you take care of everything, right? The problem is a lot of these guys are not in the position to do that. They're part of the evolution and don't even realize it. So they feel offended if they do need assistance. Now,
Mm-hmm.
some of them just bums. I ain't gonna lie. Some of 'em, like I ain't
Mm-hmm.
never met as many bums as I did when I moved to Atlanta. Cause like when I moved up here, this was the first time that I actually moved to a place where I saw guys that had other guys as roommates. Like I used to think that you see that on TV, but it wasn't something you see in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that, and then I saw how a lot of guys were. It was a necessity for them to have a partner, and a lot of women too. There was a necessity for them to have a partner. You can't do it by yourself. So many toxic relationships stay together because I can't pay the bills by myself.
That's the
You know,
only reason.
but
Together.
right, but there's a lot of men that have to get unprogrammed from that.
Mm-hmm.
By the same token, there's a lot of women out there right now who, especially now, and I've seen this happen even more recently. There's a lot of women out there right now who feel like I should be able to just be cute and that's it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't contribute to no bills. I shouldn't do any of that. I should just be able to be cute and get my TikTok following up. And
and
that's
and
all
I
I do
I
all day.
think the women that feel that way and the men who feel like women who have careers and are making all this money are too masculine, those men should get with those women who feel
Excuse me.
like they don't want to work.
Excuse me.
But
Yeah,
what I notice about that is that we're on this subject of the sprinkle lady and the city girls. So Cheryl Seven has caused a lot of ruckus on TikTok. I never knew about her before
Mm,
TikTok, and I started seeing her videos. And I started seeing how so many women love her and the
right.
guys can't stand her. And
Mm,
I was like, but she's the mirror image of the stuff that Kevin Samuels preaches to y'all.
mhm.
But what I noticed about y'all guys, those red pill guys, is that you want women who want you for your money, but you want them to act like they don't.
Mhm. Right.
It's like if you come out and say, I'm here just for the money, then you don't want to be with her. But you
Mhm.
want her to pretend like she's there because she likes you and she likes your company and you're sexy to her. When really she there for the money. Why don't y'all both just say what it is up front and be okay with it? But y'all like lying to each other.
Yeah. I mean, it feels better.
Y'all
Feels
know.
better. It feels better to be like, "Oh, I really like you. You so cute." So when you unleashing them hundreds, it feels better. Okay, I got you. No problem, girl.
Yeah.
Because if she was like, I just want you for your money. You where my bread at, daddy? Then it feel like, come
Right.
on, man. I gotta give you. At
And
least let me
and
feel good. About the
yeah.
scenario.
I mean, y'all coming out and saying we don't want no woman. We only want a woman to look good on our own, make us look good, and have our kids and give us good sex. If you're okay with coming out and saying that, why she can't be okay with coming out and saying, "Well, I'm gonna give you this good sex. I'm gonna look good on your arm, and I want your money."
Hmm. Exactly. This goes back to a couple shows ago where I told you with the problem with social media and the reason we have so much discourse and all these problems is that it's the two buildings that's next to each other. You got one person at the top of this building that's screaming down because somebody music too loud. The
Mm-hmm.
person in this apartment, they play their music loud, they not saying nothing. But the people at the bottom who just completely quiet, they yelling back up, "Who you talking to?" Da, 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 da. That message wasn't meant for you. That
Mm-hmm.
message was meant for somebody else. The problem is that we taking these messages and we just adopted them as a general message,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when Kevin Samuels would be talking to certain people, we took it as, "Oh, you talking to everybody." No, he talking to you. And
Mm-hmm.
same with the old girl with Sure Seven. When she's talking to a select group of people. She ain't
Mm-hmm.
talking to you. And that would be fine. The problem is a lot of the people that she's talking to or talking for are people that are not actually what they claim to be. Same way with Kevin Samuels. A lot of these people who claim to be high value men, it would be like, okay, well, what makes you high value? Oh, and they could never answer. There's there's
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that made them high value. You're not even supposed to be on the team, Sway. You're supposed to be on somebody else's team. How you sitting up here behind me?
Yeah.
We're the holder. That's like if I'm an American soldier and I'm at war and I'm out here fighting and I got somebody from Russia in the back of me saying, "Go, go."
Mm-hmm.
You're not even on my same squad.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's so much confusion because everybody wants to be the kept woman, and everybody wants to be the high value man, and everybody wants to be, so they taking all the messages and just accepting them when those messages ain't even meant for them.
Yeah. And I think, you know, if we as a society would just, adopt this attitude that sometimes that just ain't got nothing to do with you. You're
Yeah.
not even in that conversation. You don't even walk in those circles. That doesn't even affect you. Like the sprinkle lady and the stuff she talking about, I know, I don't that's not something
It's not something
I'm
you identify
into.
with. Right.
So it don't bother me. The Kevin Samuels, like, when you really listen to them, you're like, you can't affect my life. You ain't got your stuff together. This is comedy. A lot of this
Mhm.
stuff is just comedy. You just have to laugh at it and shake your head and go head on with it. I mean, it's always gonna be those people out there It's just that social media has given everybody a voice and a platform to say
Mm-hmm.
the things that you haven't heard them say before. And sometimes it gives you this idea of, I can't believe people actually think like this out there. People have always thought like this. It's just that you weren't hearing it because people didn't have a place or a platform to say this stuff. But people have been saying all this stuff. They've been living like this. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
it's louder now. But you have to learn how to be like, they ain't got nothing to do with me over there. Y'all argue till y'all blue in the face. It's
Yeah.
funny. I'ma laugh at some of, I'ma look at some of. Every now and then I might see something that's really outrageous, be like, oh wow, I can't believe they said that. But
I mean,
it ain't got
I,
nothing to do with me.
I'm gonna be real. The worst thing they could have ever did was drop podcast equipment off in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
But
Like some of the stuff I hear people say, I'll be like, why y'all mad at these people? Don't y'all know these people crazy? Don't
they
y'all know what they saying don't
okay.
even make sense?
So there's a philosophy to that, right? I think I've shared this on the show before too, right? So when you was coming up in class in school, you always had a class clown in every class, right? You
Mm-hmm.
might have 20 people in this class. Let's use that number 20. So you got 20 people in the class. You got one class clown. He got the dunce cap on. They put him in the
Mm-hmm.
corner, right? So think about this. For every 20 people, there's one dunce, right? So the people grow up. There's what 300 million people in America right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that means that there's a few million or more dunces that's out there, right? And you put a podcast mic in front of some of them, and they done found their tribe. And
Mm-hmm.
it makes it seem like it's so many people who feel a certain way. And it's not that many people that feel that way. It's just that audience is broader because these people look at it like, they found my tribe, and they running after
Yes.
them, you know?
And then we also have to think too, a lot of times when you see these people putting out these crazy messages and it looks like they have a big following,
Mhm.
most of the people are actually following them because they just can't believe there are people out there like this. They're
Right.
not following them because they believe in their message. They just want to see what people are actually saying out here. How are people actually
Yeah.
thinking out here? I need to keep my eye on a certain group of people so I'll know who to stay away from, what to look for,
Mhm.
and when I hear it again, I'll know, oh, you one of them.
It's
You get
it's
over here.
Yeah, it's shock value. Some people follow people for shock value. Some people follow people because they are inflammatory. They like to.
Hmm.
I can't believe he said that. Let
It's
me get.
it's entertaining.
First of all, let me follow him, and then let me cuss him out. You know,
Yeah,
so
some people live,
that's what happened with Kevin Samuels. A
they
lot of the
love
people
to be
who
offended.
right,
Yes,
yeah, a lot of the people who followed him was women.
just to
They would
argue.
follow just to argue, just to jump in, and he saw that, and he was like, "Oh, so you
Oh,
mean I could just say some inflammatory stuff and grow my base and
yeah.
get
I can
paid?
get I
Oh,
can get a
let me."
bunch of dudes and women in the comments arguing. That's gonna
Mhm.
boost me up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what would happen, and it's exactly what would happen. And I think that there's a lot of women and men out there who are trying to kind of go from that playbook now.
Hmm.
Sure is one of them.
Hmm.
She does things that are like now remind me of her history, right? She's
Hmm.
married.
She's married. The
She's
man she's
kept.
married to was married when she met him.
Hmm.
He
Right,
left his wife for her.
right. And she preaches to do that though. If I'm
Uh-huh.
not mistaken, she like, yeah, if you find you something, don't let that hold you back. If you want that man, you think that man, go get him.
Oh, she coaches us on everything.
Hmm.
One girl
Go get
asked
him.
her, how do I ask a man for money without offending him? And she was like, girl, you just you put your hair behind your ear, you bat your eyes at him, you flirt with him a little bit, you say, I want to ask you something. No, no, I ain't gonna ask you. You probably
Hmm.
not ready for it. You just build up his curiosity and you be like, nah, I ask you later.
Hmm. Yeah.
it's comedy to me. It's like
Mm-hmm.
somebody really gonna go
They
and
do.
do this.
They do. And you know what's crazy? It's gonna work. It's gonna work
That's
on
the
somebody.
thing. It's gonna work on some people,
Mm-hmm.
but on some people, it's gonna be like, you think I didn't see that video? I saw
Right.
what I know what you're doing because I watch your
Right.
video just to see what one of you women gonna try to play that game on me.
Right. So there's something else that this breeds, right? Because we talk about how social media's kind of sets expectations. The fact that we see the other side, or we see not the other side per se, because there's more than one side. But as a man, if I'm looking at her videos and I'm seeing the way that she's setting up manipulation and teaching manipulation tactics, then what does
Mm-hmm.
that make me feel like? Oh, I can't trust none of these women.
Mm-hmm.
Because they gonna be on some manipulation stuff. It was kind of like when they were talking about with some of the stuff with the polyamorous folks.
Mm-hmm.
It was these three this guy and these two girls. They're polyamorous and they were doing these lives and everything on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They were engaging a lot of people. A lot of women were calling them and engaging with them and saying that they were high profile women, or they made a lot of money and they were interested in maybe the polyamorous lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And because they did that, because they were saying that, it made a lot of women who viewed that be like, I didn't know that many women was down to be with other women,
Mm-hmm.
down to be in these types of relationships. And a lot of men start feeling like that. I didn't know that many women was down for that. you know,
Mm.
but you're only seeing one side of it. You're only seeing that side. But it made a lot of men feel like, oh, well, shoot, they'll do it. You just got to have enough money to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of women feeling like, oh yeah, I gotta watch my man because he can have some other woman, beating down his door because he make a certain amount of money. And it leads to distrust of each
Mm-hmm.
other. It leads to the general distrust of women, the general distrust of men, and then let's not even get into the whole argument of sexuality and the LGBTQ stuff,
Yeah.
all of those things lead to this environment of I can't trust nobody, so everybody's toxic.
Yeah. And these messages that the internet's putting out here is like you gotta be in a certain class level and you got to make a certain amount of money if you want to be in a polyamorous relationship and you want to
Hmm.
have these different women. Man, little Nuck, if you buck from down the street, got 3 women and he ain't got no job.
Right, he ain't got no job. I
And they
tell
all
people
let
this.
him sleep at their house and drive their car and
Hmm.
eat off their EBT card.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Again, moving to Atlanta was like an eye opener for me, right? Because I
Mm-hmm,
saw things like this back home, but it was more when I was engaged in the music industry.
mm-hmm,
I got here and one of the first things that I saw was it was these two uh, corporate young ladies for the company I used to work for, and they were making. I mean, they had to be in the hundred thousands a piece, right?
yeah.
And they had this one guy at the job that they were sharing. And it was literally like we sharing him left, right, whatever. And they kept him. They made sure they brought him clothes. They did, all this stuff. Now he broke as a joke. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He might be making $10 an hour. But I guess because he could sling good peen or whatever it was,
Yeah.
they would take care of him. And actually, it wasn't even that. From what one of them was telling me, it's just because they thought he was cute, you know. But But yeah, they was doing that. But come to find out, he was just taking their money because he was gay. And he didn't really like
Oh.
having sex with him, but he found that was what he had to do to get the
Ah,
lifestyle that he wanted.
he found him a hustle.
Hmm. Right.
Wow.
So he's dating a whole nother gay guy that's at the
And
building.
they probably both spending them lady money.
Yeah, they were.
Wow. That's crazy.
If that don't be the best example of some distrustful ass shit.
And it's like no matter what stage you are in your life, you can always find somebody to be down with what you down with.
Basically, you know, you really don't- when I was out there in the streets, there was
Mhm.
never. I used to tell people I didn't cheat. You know, I was like, I'm dating multiple people right now, and if you have a problem with that, I understand. I might not be the guy for you.
Right.
So that's fine. You know, catching this lifetime or whatever. But I'm dating multiple people, and when I find the one, then I'll cut everybody off. There were a lot of women who was like, okay, cool.
I'm down with
Now,
that.
when you hear that just by the surface statement, you know, you think most women will be like, ain't no way. No, there was a lot of women who's like, okay, it's cool.
It could
Just
all be
like,
so simple if everybody would just, let it be, say what it is up front, let other people make their choice.
yeah.
But see, 9 times out of 10, the person who's presenting the situation, the reason why they want to lie about it and finagle the other person into the situation is because they know they can't really uphold their end of the bargain long term.
Right.
That's why you want them to come into the situation under a different set of beliefs of what it is when you
Exactly.
know it's something different.
Exactly. You know, it's sad though. It really
Hmm.
is sad because we see these things. Like I said, we're looking at it on online. We see it on social media, and it really has bred a feeling of distrust that's out there. The other thing that it has actually done too, and I want to get into this part. Um, they ain't got that many rich dudes out here, right?
No,
When
this
you see
it's
all
like
these
the
Instagram
5%.
when you see all these Instagram models that be on their IGs with the trips to here and there, and they come home every night to 5 dozen roses, and they got all this, and you're thinking, okay, this is what it's supposed to be. This is
Hmm.
how men are supposed to treat you. And while it's fine to think that men should treat you well and treat you with respect, you know, look, they need to tell you, she got tired of flowers. Look, she's like, the house looked like a,
Look like
a
a funeral
botanical
home. Starting to
garden.
look like a
Uh-huh.
funeral home.
Right.
You
You
ain't
know,
finna send me off nowhere, is you?
right. But the thing with that though is that, you know, it's good to treat your significant other well. But I think a lot of people get it misconstrued to where, oh, if he ain't buying me a Birkin bag, then he just ain't the one. You work at Wendy's. What you talking about? You need a Birkin bag.
I don't know.
I,
We just got to stop letting the internet and social media shape what we think a relationship is supposed to be. You
right.
have to be able to step back and make your own decisions on what you want in your life. And it doesn't have to look like nobody else's. It don't have to be in competition or comparison with how other people's relationship look,
Right.
because you're comparing yourself to a lot of fake, phony stuff that you could never live up to anyway.
Hmm. And people that use filters.
Illusions. It's
it,
all an illusion.
it really is. And a lot of it is staged. There's a place
Hmm.
down here where they stage Instagram posts. So
Mm,
you could put, you know, they put all the flowers and the diamond bracelets and all that kind of stuff, and they literally stage that for you. So you come in and they do like about 2 weeks worth of posts.
mm.
When you in there, you have a couple different wardrobe changes and things like that. You're done. So people think that you got diamonds on, you out on the beach, you doing all this kind of stuff, and in actuality, you just did that in the little warehouse on green screen
Shoot,
with somebody else's diamonds.
that's how that guy, did you see that show, The Tinder Swindler?
Yeah, I didn't see all of it, but I heard a lot about it.
That's how he was catching the women up, because he had an Instagram page. That page looked like he was living the life.
Yeah.
They was looking at his page. He was posting stuff in Dubai, and he was posting pictures in his private jet, and it looked like he was really living that life.
Yeah.
And all of it was fake.
Right. And it's sad because there's a lot of women who fell for that. Just like it's sad that there's a lot of women who sit online and they see some of these people, and I ain't gonna name a lot of names, but like there's a lot of them that are on there that, oh well, you know, I got the diamonds on all the time. I got the this and this and this. There's one girl in particular that I know for a fact. Now she got 600 something thousand followers, right? I know for a fact that she work at this Subway in Sandy Spring.
But what her page say?
It don't say nothing. It just say entrepreneur. See, that's the thing about that entrepreneur word.
It's too vague.
It's too vague.
Because she might just be doing her out of her back, you know, off her
She
back
very
porch.
well could be. And with 600 something thousand followers, she need to be doing some tummy teas or something. She probably wouldn't have to work at Subway, but I digress. Maybe she is. I don't know. I don't know.
If she got that many followers, she need to learn how to monetize this.
Right, exactly. Maybe she's doing it for tax purposes. I don't know. But
the point of all the followers, and you ain't not turning it into nothing.
Right, exactly. You know, hey, if I had 650,000 followers, y'all know.
A lot of them followers be purchased though.
Yeah, that is very true. She might have took all of her sandwich money and put it on. I just need another 30,000 and I'll be straight.
Y'all can't be going by what you see on the internet. Just recently, you know, flashback to our last episode, we talked about the Denia Jackson and Derrick Jackson situation. This week, we find out all that lifestyle that we thought he was living, it was fake.
Yeah.
And going through the divorce, she's not going to get anything. And that's why she's doing these courses where she's charging these women $5,000 to help them heal.
Because he decided that he was going to just go ahead and perpetrate. That's the word of the day. Perpetrate.
So perpetrate, commiserate, celebrate, all this.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's sad though, but you see a lot of that, and you see that whole fake it till you make it type of, you know, mentality. But a lot of people don't ever make it, so it just at the end of the day just becomes faking. And you know, that's all they're doing.
The sad part about this situation is that through all of the exposing, he still has a large following, and people are going to let this die down, and they're going to start back flocking towards him again. That's the difference in him and her.
Maybe even more, because they want to, you know, see what he's gonna say and, you know, how he's gonna, you know. So there's probably gonna be a lot of that that's out there.
It's just the point that he's an attractive man. He's a man. And they forgive the public and the social media and the women. They're gonna forgive him more and sooner than they're going to forgive her.
Lord, you thought it was bad on them appearances that he was making when she was there. Lord, when he go show up somewhere now, they gonna be hanging from the rafters trying to get to him.
That has not turned any woman away from him because of all of this. That make them want him more because they think they're gonna be the one to change him.
They're gonna be like old girl 07. They're like, yeah, I'll be the one to go ahead and intercept and take him from his wife. It's sad that we live in a culture that's like that, where there's literally people that's like, oh, they taking Jezebel classes.
Yeah,
I
hear
where I can come
that
in.
He has a contract with BET, so he's going to be doing shows on BET. You think BET cared about all his scandal? They still took him.
Look,
He
That's
look he
gonna be
gonna look good on their movies and their shows, and that's all they care about.
yeah.
They know women gonna want to look at him.
Yeah. That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he didn't get a contract with one of these porn companies that you know, look, that might be to come. You never know.
Yes. I mean, and then we live in a society that loves toxicity anyway. You
Yeah,
can be as toxic as you want to be. People are still going to support you and want to see the things that you're doing because that's the type of society we're in.
that is true. Speaking of, this might sound really like contradictory to what we're talking about, but like I can't wait to see this whole space show on Fox where it's like they okay. So the premise is it's a reality show, but it's a
Mhm.
reality show on Mars. And they got Richard Sherman on there and Marshawn Lynch and a couple of Lance Armstrong, a whole bunch of, and they're on Mars,
So they're
right?
really sending them to Mars?
No, they're not really sending them to Mars. It looks like it. They do a whole like they got them on this set that's like red and all that. So, but they doing tasks like they're stuck on Mars.
Oh, it's like one of those competition shows.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see the toxicity on that. See, that's the problem.
Exactly. We
Like I
we
said, I'm being
we want to
contradictory.
see it.
Right.
I only the only toxic show I'm really still watching right now is Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Gotcha.
That's the only one I'm still, and the only reason I'm still watching it is because I've watched it from the beginning and I know the characters in it. And I mean, but if a new show was coming on, like they've made Love and Marriage, um, DC, Love and Marriage, something else is coming up. I'm not gonna watch those because I didn't start with those, and
I don't
I.
usually watch those types of shows, but I want to see this one. But I don't usually
Mhm.
watch those. Like I was never into the Real Housewives. I was never into,
I
you
used to
know,
watch that one. I can't get back into it because I've been away from it so long. So I'm not gonna try to pick it up,
yeah.
because I've lost way touch with who they are and what they got going on now. So I ain't gonna be able to pick it back up. Um, there's another one. Um, as you were talking, it came to my mind and it just left my mind that quickly. Um, shoot, I'll think about it when I don't need to think about it no more.
Right. Right.
Yes, but thank y'all all for tuning in for another episode of Dope Discussions on Tuesday night. Don't forget to like, share this broadcast out. We're trying to get our viewers and listeners to get used to us being on this new night on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Um,
Right.
we're also on Facebook, huh? On your
Yeah, I
page
think
on Facebook.
yeah, I went ahead and dropped it on Facebook, and the reason why it was because I want to see if I could get some more people bringing up over on that side too. If it's
Mm-hmm.
broadcasting, I don't think we got anybody looking on there right now, but that's part of the reason I just kind of wanted to test that out.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I do want to say, guys, is that make sure you guys actually, even if you are unable to watch the show in its entirety, hey, turn it on in the background and
Mm-hmm.
let it play. Let it play for an hour or so, every couple of days, or let another show get caught up on some of the old shows, things like that. And the reason why is because, let's be completely honest, YouTube's algorithm is crazy because it's like, okay, well, how many views do you have? How many view hours do you have? How many? So make sure y'all actually put it on there. Don't just tune in for 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and all that. Just turn it on, let it play, put it in the background. Besides, hey, if y'all want me to do some ASMR or something, I could do some. Maybe we could do some videos where I could talk and put people to sleep. Be like, hey, what's going
Yeah.
on? How are you? Go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah, but make sure y'all doing that. Make sure y'all are playing it. Like, share, subscribe, but also play the video the whole way through.
Yes, all that. Like, share, subscribe is free. It's free 99. You ain't
Free.
gotta do nothing but take your thumb and tap the screen and do that for us. And we won't
Mhm.
ask you to do nothing else.
Right,
We're not
right,
asking for no cash apps. We're not asking for no money. If you want to
right,
bless us on that end, that's okay. But we just
right.
want you to like, share, subscribe, help us get our following back up. And reach out to us. Let me see if I can put our contact info up there. If y'all have any ideas on show topics that y'all want to discuss, because what we're going to start doing is dropping the link in the comment section during the show and inviting people to join us if you want to add something to the topic of discussion on that particular night. We'll drop that link and you can come up. You don't have to get on camera. You can stay anonymous. Now, if you get on camera and start talking crazy stuff, we got a button.
Yeah.
We got a button that's gonna just shut you off. So we ain't scared.
Mm-hmm.
So you can come up here. I don't know how much you're gonna get out before it go click. But you can reach out to us through our email address up there on the screen. It's dopediscussionslive@gmail.com. You can connect with us on Instagram, and that's at dopediscussions_pod. And we also have a TikTok, and that is at Dope Discussions 2023. If you want to connect with us on any of those platforms or just send us an email, I will definitely read the email and respond as soon as possible. Reach out to us with any ideas. Reach out to us if you want, if we decide to use your show
Mm-hmm.
idea and you want to tune in, and then we can bring you up. If you want to talk, add something to the discussion, we'll send you that link.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And y'all be looking out. I'm gonna have to start putting my link up for I'm gonna start dropping these fragrance reviews in a little bit. So y'all be looking for that. I'm gonna be teaching these young men how to smell good, because see, what y'all don't understand is while y'all hear the immaculate voice, y'all not taking in the immaculate smell in my surroundings. And it's because I like to smell good. So yeah, be looking for the fragrance review link coming up soon. So because I got to get y'all over there so y'all can follow the whole entirety of everything we're doing.
Yes, yes. And if you wasn't able to catch us live, if you watching the replay, hit hashtag replay in the comments so we would know that you were here and we will engage with you.
Yes, yes. And play it all the way through. Play it
Yes.
all the way through.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good night. We'll see y'all here. Same time, same
Yep,
place.
yep. Peace out, y'all. Later.